In my experience, guidance is not the still, small voice within. It is a massive sensory sweep that pushes aside my smallness and points me where I would otherwise never dare to go. My intention in speaking about this is not simply to share my guidance, but to instill in you a passion to find your own. We live in a world marked by climate change. What does climate change and personal guidance have to do with each other? That is exactly what I'm here to talk to you about. I call my guidance the dissent of grace because it feels that way to me. I experience it physiologically, moving downward from my head to my toes like the broad stroke of a soft brush. It stabilizes me with the assurance of presence and focus. It orients me, it quiets me, and it definitely puts words in my mouth. Where does it come from? What is it? I see it as the evolution of my personal healing process that has awakened my mind to its highest consciousness. In this regard, I correlate guidance with the quality of reward for the child I was. She sat at a window in New York, looking out and positing whether in one of those houses out there, someone was looking back who could stop the torture in her home. I also see guidance as redemption for the young woman that child grew to be, lying in her own blood on the floor where she has been raped and beaten. It is because of those experiences that I recognize guidance as the surprising peace that opens at the moment of absolute impossibility. We are living in just such a moment now. Today, we inhabit a time of accelerated threat together. Fires, hurricanes, floods, droughts bring us globally to points of collective desperation. Because of this, I know I must do everything in my power to help you awaken to your personal guidance. Guidance descends into me the way a mother knows her milk has come in. It clears distraction. It expands my inner presence. Have you ever had a glitch with your computer and had to contact a brilliant technician somewhere? He then moves the cursor to hidden panels you could never find or decipher, and all of a sudden this glitch in your communication device is solved in seconds. Guidance is that brilliant technician. Guidance has its own pleasure principle. It clears the mind. It never clutters it with lists. It makes everything into now. To find it, you must accept mysterious sensations in your body, make space to be with them, and let yourself be uncommon. Guidance requires discipline. It takes time and rigor to cultivate its courage and honor it above all else. Guidance waits for your recognition the way a potential lover waits for a return glance to step into your life. Once you demonstrate your willingness, the frequency of your lover's presence increases. You follow the cues of your body as it learns to let guidance as lover into it. Recognize how in that love affair, your body becomes more and more like a tuning fork. Enjoy that. Without our guided activism, climate change will crush the future of generations. I have no doubt that each one of us has a role to play in preventing that. Mine is what I am doing right now. I am gathering the tribes. Guidance will tell you your role. Guidance will tell you your role. What is happening in our world today has instigated an emergent urgency for humanity to wake up. It is through the inner guidance that is building in your body as you listen to me that this combination of emergent and urgent leads to collective sustainability. To help you find your guidance, look in the natural world. It will surprise you in neglected fields where birds gather and on side streets or behind parking lots where unpaved pathways lead to clusters of trees. Whether farm, field, river, or city street, go there and listen. Wait. Be still. Let guidance come to you. Track your sensations carefully. Pause. Take the time to see where you are being pointed. In that space between assumptions and conclusions, something new is waiting. That is guidance. Guidance will cause you to give up the life you planned and replace it with the life you are meant to live. And you will accept that without regret. That will surprise you. It is in that very surprise that you know that guidance has found you. Differentiate guidance from compulsion by noting their sensory distinctions in your body. Guidance is an expansive softening, whereas compulsion is tight and compressive. True guidance always allows free will and brings a felt sense of spaciousness. It feels good. In the midst of the chaos and the destruction of climate change, there is joy in the experience of guidance. It makes things that would otherwise seem impossible easy and fluid. It even oils my joints for action and gives me complete presence, even when I haven't had much sleep. Guidance is an organic, utterly human phenomenon. It is kindled in the natural world and in places where people pray from their hearts and holy names are repeated. It thrives in the presence of creativity and honesty. It imparts expansive freedom and erases limitation. It nourishes unique intelligence and bonds you with the family of the world. Its language is international, intergenerational, and classless. It is everyone's birthright. Whether in the form of the healing force I allow into my hands, such as when I helped an elderly gentleman crippled by childhood polio find the vitality to play with his grandchildren, or in the words I recently offered an agonized mother whose daughter was being abused by her husband. Guidance stills my agitation or allows me to undertake something for which I feel completely inadequate. It takes over for me. I disappear into it. I become its voice, its feet, its arms, its touch. Guidance is its own reward. I trust that it can take us where we need to go to steward the children of this world. Our task is to find it and surrender to it. My job is to invite you to not be afraid of that. Even when the voice of guidance is forceful and insistent, it is inundated with love. In fact, love is the very nature of guidance. It has transmuted my outrage instantaneously into wisdom, such as when I heard myself articulate the meaning of inclusivity and empathy to a man who was a racist. I looked at him as I spoke, feeling the love that was pouring out of me, and I witnessed how he was suddenly still and silent, even radiant, integrating something he had never even considered. Guidance is what I was looking for as a child, staring out the window of her New York tenement apartment. Guidance was the unarticulated prayer of the young, tortured woman who I was. Guidance is the urgency and intensity I feel now as I am led into impossible hope. I accept the embrace of a force that loves humanity so madly that it will make us smart enough to learn how to work together to keep our children safe. I have been guided to this moment by an inner compass that unerringly corrects my course and steers me towards your magnificence, your magnificence, your magnificence, and my own. We are the ones we have been waiting for, and the time has come to rise to our maturity, harness our wisdom, and do what must be done immediately to save our children. People often tell me they are looking for guidance and can't find it. They ask me to help them name it, claim it, help them listen to it. All I know is that I am guided to assist them to see how guidance keeps trying to grab their attention and pull them away from the distractions they give into. We all have the capacity to attune to the spiritual forces that are convening now at the crossroads of time. A call has already gone out from the guardians of the earth. Can you hear it? Please, don't let anything interfere with the reclamation of your personal guidance. This is your highest priority. Thank you.